It's week 8, day 52 of my full-time chronic pain rehabilitation journey. I'm Jason, and today I'm going to talk about the difference between arriving and striving. If you're trying to arrive at a destination, if that's your end goal, you're going to end up miserable. I'll explain why in just a second. At the end of the video, I'm going to share a tip about what to do when your workout becomes too comfortable, so stay tuned. First though, a status update. Tonight is my 7th ketamine trip. Usually I shoot these videos after the trip. There's some risks in doing that because my emotions come out to play really strongly, so I decided to do it today before then. I also have a personal best that I want to share with you. On the decline squat, I did 14 reps at 315 pounds. That's up from 12 reps at 305. I can tell though that my lower back is not going to tolerate much more than that, so I'm going to hang out in that range for probably the next week at least before I up it again. I'm also consuming a lot more protein every day. My goal is 170 grams. The idea is to optimize my protein intake so my body has the resources it needs to build as much muscle as possible, maximizing the results of my workout. And at my recovery center today, I tried a new technique. I'm doing pretty well. I'm pretty stable right now, so I'm like, well, let's try something new. And the technique I tried is scraping. It pretty much is what it sounds like. And they did a pretty light dose today, so I doubt I'll feel any side effects. But it was just kind of a chance to test the waters and try something new. I do need to break up some of the scar tissue in my back, and scraping is one way to make it more pliable. On to the topic of the day, striving versus arriving. I have a personal confession to make. For the last 20 years, I don't think I've been striving for anything. I can say that because I'm striving right now and I can tell the difference. That doesn't mean I wasn't putting forth effort. I was trying. I was sometimes going a little bit above and beyond, but I never went all in on anything. And now that I'm doing that, I realize that striving is where it's at. I remember my mindset, especially at the end of this last decade, when I was really struggling with chronic pain. I wasn't striving for anything, and I was actually in kind of a state of wishful thinking. I wanted someone to save me, make my life secure, so that even if my body deteriorated and my life went to crap even further, my family would be taken care of. I wanted somebody to just drop some money on me, win the lottery, even though I don't play, or have a rich relative give me an inheritance, even though I don't really have any of those. So it was kind of a pathetic state. And now that I'm striving, I wouldn't change what I'm doing now for anything. Meaning I don't want the lottery. I don't want to win the lottery. I don't want my relatives to bail me out. I want to do everything in my power to make my life better. And I want it to be my accomplishment. That's what striving means. And the person who brought this home to me is a man named David Goggins. I've been pronouncing his name incorrectly. My wife tells me it's not Groggins, it's Goggins. And David Goggins is a high-performance athlete, and I'm kind of a super soldier, really. And he talked about how we have a retirement mentality in our culture today. People just want to get set up and then stop doing stuff and tour the world, enjoy a life of leisure, play golf, all that kind of stuff. The problem with that mindset, it's an arrival mindset. I made it. Now I don't have to do anything more. And it's a prescription for misery. People who retire and do what I just described aren't particularly happy. Why? Because they're not striving for something. They're not giving their all. That doesn't mean we can't enjoy, our momentary accomplishments. Getting to a point where you can retire is something we're celebrating. But there's got to be something beyond that. That's just a stepping stone to something else and something better. You gave your all to get to that point possibly. Now give your all to something else. But you can't stop striving. Striving is synonymous with living. And so I wanted to kind of retire. I had a retirement mindset, especially at the end of this last decade. I just wanted someone to set me up so that I could take care of my family and basically lay down and die. It sounds pathetic now that I say it, but that's what it was. And now that I'm striving again, I realize that's the answer. The answer to the apathy and the wishful thinking and the desire to arrive that I had is to step up and give my all to something. And that all, the all that I'm giving something to, is my chronic pain rehabilitation. And after that, there's going to be something else. This is just one waypoint. It's one I can celebrate, but it's just a waypoint. And I'm going to move on to something else and continue to strive until the day that I die. That's my mindset now. All right, now for the tip I promised you. If you find yourself getting too comfortable in your workout, you can change it up. I did that today. I flirted with doing some sprint laps in the pool and just to kind of test the waters, and I did okay with them. And now I'm sprinting. This is so much different than the endurance swimming I was doing before that I feel like I haven't swam at all. It's like my body is acclimated to, getting my heart rate up to a certain level for maybe 30 minutes, and then it just kind of goes into a rhythmic pattern, and I'm able to breathe enough, get enough oxygen, and it's easy. It's actually getting easy for me. So I'm like, oh, time to change it up. And so I sprinted today, and holy crap, it's like I'd never swam, my lungs had never breathed, and my heart had never pumped. And so if you find yourself comfortable, shake it up a bit. Fighting for your life means learning to strive, not arrive. You can relish your accomplishments, but don't linger in them. After you accomplish something, it's time to move on to the next thing and give it your all. Have you stopped striving? If so, why? I'd be interested to know your thoughts on why you gave up and what you might do to come back and strive again. If you're battling with chronic pain or struggling with a chronic condition and you find my channel useful, please don't forget to subscribe.